Combined forces rally at the Death Watch outpost on Zanbar, where Maul explains how the criminals will be instrumental in painting Vizsla as a strong leader that Mandalore needs.
Our gangsters will make her look too weak to maintain control. Then you and your Death Watch will capture and arrest us, bringing order where Satine's weak government could not.
While both Vizsla and Bo-Katan admit that this is a great plan, she knows they can't be trusted. He tells Bo-Katan that when they have them executed, the criminals will break up and disperse, and they will have crossed the Sith before they could betray Mandalore. All the while, Savage warns that the Mandos can't be trusted, but Maul explains why they can't openly rule this world, and you see how the wisdom of political manipulation has been passed down from Palpatine, through Maul, and is now even being grasped by Savage.
We cannot rule openly without drawing the attention of the Jedi. We need Vizsla as the face of our rule, for now.
The promise of wealth will find us a new face on Mandalore.
On Vizsla's mark, the Shadow Collective descends on key areas of the capital city. Some are just open attacks on civilian centers that easily cut down the Mandalorian Guard, while others attack assets that are key to the government and economy, like the Central Bank. As news of this criminal blitzkrieg spreads throughout the Mandalorians, Duchess Satine is forced to give an emergency address, one which Death Watch crashes. Satine is sure that this is no coincidence, and pleads with her people that siding with them will lead to the end of Mandalore, a prophetic statement that she will not live to see come true.
Do not listen to him! His war will cause the end of Mandalore as we know it!
As attacks continue, Maul instructs Vizsla to start staging some theatrical apprehensions of the criminals, and over the next couple of days it is Death Watch who always shows up at the right place and right time, subduing these offworlders. Once public approval was high enough, Pre-Vizsla led the charge into the royal court and announces the coup.
Your weak-minded rule of Mandalore is at an end.
Satine knew she was outplayed, and peacefully surrenders. That night, Death Watch parades the captured criminals in front of a crowd of hundreds of thousands of Mandalorians, many proud to be returning to their strong warrior traditions for the first time in decades. Pre-Vizsla is named the new Prime Minister, to resounding cheers. Triumphant over his ousting of the pacifists, there was one more thing to take care of. Maul is captured, paraded in front of the people as well, and finally transported to the prison alongside his brother, just where the Sith wanted to be. Together they are able to escape and eventually locate Almec, their pawn to replace Pre-Vizsla all along. Almec was a member of Duchess Satine's government, previously serving as Prime Minister, but he was imprisoned for establishing a black market on Malachor once they decided to stay neutral in the Clone Wars. Being independent cut them off from Galactic Republic aid, and in the eyes of many, he was imprisoned simply for trying to ease the suffering of the citizens during this time of war, while others point out that these goods were non-essentials, and some of these smuggled goods ended up being toxic, nearly killing several children. All details that Maul loved to hear, a man who could be repackaged to the public, but who at his core was driven by luxury and greed. Maul also knew the Mandalorian codes of honor, and with Almec free, he went to challenge Vizsla to a one-on-one duel.
I challenge you, one warrior to another, and only the strongest shall rule Mandalore.
Death Watch respects this ancient right, and watches as their leader fights for his life. An intense battle, two ancient classes of warriors, Mandalorian vs Sith, with two of the most storied blades in history. Maul's was the first Sith blade to kill a Jedi in over 1,000 years. The Darksaber, an ancient blade crafted by the first Mandalorian to ever become a Jedi, and which was stolen back by the Mandalorians and used as a symbol of unification. The battle was close, but Maul would not be denied. As Vizsla knelt just steps away from the Mandalorian throne he coveted, he accepts his fate and upholds the Mandalorian code to his last breath.
Only the strongest shall rule.
Maul earned the Darksaber and the loyalty of Death Watch, but Bo-Katan and the squad of Night Owls would not stand down. Almec was moved into place as a puppet leader, and make sure to leave Maul's part of it out of the story.
Hear me now! Duchess Satine has murdered Grievous, the true hero of Mandalore. Vizsla's last command that I be reinstated as Prime Minister.
From here, the Sith would sit upon the Mandalorian throne, plotting to expand the Shadow Collective, and most of all, use these actions to exact his vengeance on Kenobi, while Almec ruled the day-to-day operations.
Go. Rule my people.